We are live here I'm in Philadelphia. Let's go out to Santa Ana, California, where we are undefeated welterweight Alexis Rocha. August the 28th, taking on, I believe, Jameson Bacon out of the Philippines. How's everything going?
Good, man. Can't complain. Life's been good. You know, obviously with everything going on with the pandemic, man, it's been tough, but I'm doing good. Thank you.
What have you been up to? How were you able to stay in shape while everything was shut down for a couple months?
Well, yeah. So when quarantine hit, it was very hard at first because our primary gym closed down. So with everything going on, lockdown was happening. We took about a month and a half off the gym. So me and my brother Ronnie Rios, who's also a fighter as well, we started working out in our garage. So we bought a gym bag, we bought a double M bag, and we just built it up there, and we just started working. And luckily, we have a friend, a long lifetime friend that we have. He owns a warehouse, so he put a boxing gym there for us. So that's been our gym ever since.
So you have been able to kind of stay in relatively good shape
Yes.
throughout this whole thing.
Yes, man.
So were you able to kind of start getting in earnest in terms of get into, like, say, fight shape?
Fight shape. I want to say fight shape, honestly, around June.
And you found out about this fight when?
I want to say around July.
So you've had a relatively normal training camp. Would you say maybe a little bit shorter?
Yeah. No, relatively normal training camp, I would say. But it's also not normal with the whole pandemic going on. You got to take proper measures to be clean, to have masks, and to really just, be careful.
So now, like I said, August 28th, live on the Zone, taking on
Yes.
an unknown fighter out of the Philippines named Jameson Bacon. What can you tell us about him?
To be honest, I don't know much about him. I couldn't find any video out there to study him, but from what I probably would know from him, he's gonna come to fight. He's gonna come to make a name. This is the biggest opportunity that he has on paper. So he's gonna come to perform and to upset me, obviously. But my focus is on myself. I gotta go in there and be the best that I could be.
Do you feel yourself, and I know you've kind of been moving up the prospect ranks. You're still undefeated at 16-0. Do you see
Yeah.
and do you feel yourself kind of getting into that mode where people are going to start talking about you, to get into bigger fights and to fight, either whether they're veterans with big name, bigger names, or even fellow prospects?
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm getting up there, man. I'm reaching my name. Every fight is always important to me, so I gotta look for that. And yeah, man, I'm right up there along with other people, and then my time will come.
How important and how much? Obviously, you mentioned your brother Ronnie Rios, who's
Yes.
he's been to the top of the mountain. He's fought for the titles and such. To kind of go on this journey together.
Yeah, man. He's my brother, man. What could I say? We're close pals, and just being alongside with them, for him being in my journey and me being in his journey, we give each other great advice. I learned to adapt to some of the stuff he's done, all the flaws he's done, the goods he's done. So I'm taking notes, man, along the way.
What would you say is the biggest thing maybe you've learned in his pursuit, fighting for world titles and such? What's kind of been your biggest takeaway from that?
Biggest takeaway, just to always strive to be the best, because this is a long, even though it's a short window in boxing, it's your life basically. So you got to be constantly grinding daily, mentally, physically. So you got to be constantly grinding, and at times you can get burned out, but you got to know when to stop, to take it easy. And I feel like you just got to believe in yourself, really believe in yourself, and really grind it out mentally and physically, like I said. And I think those are keys right there.
Break it down. So I mean, where do you I just talked about kind of seeing yourself fighting maybe bigger names. I know you're not looking past Bacon, But I mean, where do you see yourself? Maybe by the end of the year, early next year.
Yeah, man. Like I said, my job is to go in there and take care of business. August 28th. I'm not overlooking my opponent. No, he's gonna come to bring it. But my name's to make a big name for myself. I want this to be my breakout year. I want all eyes on me. I know I could be a star, and I know I have the tools to do it.
I know I talked to Golden Boy has a couple welterweights, maybe a little bit further ahead guys like Rashidi Ellis. Do you see yourself in fights with those type of guys at some point?
Yeah, man. Eventually down the line, our names are going to be thrown in there, and those are challenges that I'm willing to accept to be better.
And obviously, I guess the big name with Golden Boy in the welterweight divisions, Virgil Ortiz is when you see obviously he's getting a lot of accolades, best prospect, and this, that, and the other that you're reading. Do you see yourself in a big fight with Virgil Ortiz at some point?
Yeah, not at some point. I think later down the line, once we start developing our careers, I make progress, he makes more progress. Then yeah, that fight would definitely happen later down the line.
Break down the welterweight division. Obviously, there's Spence and Crawford and some other guys.
Yeah.
Pacquiao still around. I think we lost there. You're back. You left us for a second.
Yeah.
It's pouring.
Yeah,
by the way, it's pouring here in Philadelphia. It looks beautiful where you're at. By the way, you look like
man.
You're relaxing by the pool or something.
No, man, I'm at my house, just relaxing. It's very sunny out here. Can't complain. California has some good weather.
Yeah, it was 100. It was like 95 degrees here before it started pouring. So break.
Damn.
Yeah, so it gets very humid in Philly. You ever been to Philly?
No, never been, but I want to visit.
Great fight town. If you come, let me know. I'll get you a cheesesteak.
Thank you, man. Ooh, looking forward to that.
My treat. So break down the welterweight division. How do you see it? You see it as Crawford and Spence. Who are the other guys that we mentioned? Some of the guys that you may fight down the line. Maybe an Allison Ortiz. Obviously, those fights will be a little bit easier to make, being that you're all under the Golden Boy banner. But who are some of the other guys that you can see yourself in the ring? Maybe 3-4 fights down the road.
You never know in this sport. Anything can happen in this sport, but I see myself facing the tough guys. Because those guys are obviously going to get bigger and they're going to move up to the weight class. They're only here so long, so they could also move up potentially to 154. But as far as the top guys, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, all these. It's a talented division, and I'm doing everything I can to go up to that rankings.
I'm sure you have some friends who've already fought in this bubble format. Have you talked to anyone yet to see how they got through the week with all the testing that needs to get done? Have you kind of gotten a little heads up from any of your fighter friends that have gone through it?
Yeah, I've had some fighter friends that I've fought in other cards, and yeah, it's different. With the whole quarantine, you got to be in your room isolated by yourself or with someone. It's just crazy. You got to take proper measures, like I said. And I'm not looking forward to those swab tests because those things are painful. I've took a couple of them just to stay safe, and thank God I was negative, and I'm just not looking forward to those.
I took one about a week and a half ago. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's the longest 10 seconds because they say 10 seconds. It feels like 20 seconds. That was my experience.
Exactly.
You got like Xbox or PlayStation? Is that going to come for the ride?
Maybe, man. When this quarantine hit, everyone got unemployment, so I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't really train, and my friends got kind of laid off too off their jobs from unemployment. So we got the PS4 running and we started playing video games.
Were you guys playing for money or anything, or just to?
No, not for money. We play Call of Duty. I'm not sure if you know that.
I've heard of it.
Out there. Yeah, very addicting game.
Yeah, I think a lot of a bunch of the fighters I've been speaking with the other cards, that's been a savior. The game systems. Yeah. During their week in the hotel, just doing nothing. So that's just what I heard. Anything you want to say to the fans in closing out there? Alexis Rocha, the time's yours.
Yeah, I mean, catch my fight August 28th live on the Zone. I'm looking to bring a good fight, man. You could always expect a good fight from me. Fan-friendly fight all the time. I'm looking to make a name for myself, And also to everyone out there, it's a very tough time right now with this whole pandemic going on. Please stay safe, guys. Take proper measures. Wear masks, hand sanitize your hands. No large crowds. I know it sounds like a lot, and it's very boring, to be honest, just staying at home every day. But it's very beneficial to you and to your family.
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid to leave the house. I go for a walk around the block with my wife. That's about it.
Yeah, man.
That's about it. Where do we find you on social media?
You can find me at Alexis Rocha 777 on Instagram and Twitter.
There you have it. So we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you fighting on August 28th against Jameson Bacon of the Philippines. I believe he's making his American debut, so I guess that's why there may not be much film of him out there. Is it? Did you see? I know you said you haven't. Have you seen anything on him or no?
Nothing, man.
So this first time you'll see him at the weigh-in, then I guess.
First time, yeah, man. But it's you gotta be ready for anything as a fighter.
There you have it. Great interview with undefeated welterweight prospect Alexis Rocha. We wish you best of luck, and we'll talk to you along the way.
Thank you, Mark. Have a good one, man.
Thank you.